This clutch upgrade for the BMW G8X platform is hardly ever recommended by users on social media groups and forums. Many told me to stay away, that it would break my M2. Apparently after doing this upgrade, people had issues with engagement, not being able to get into first gear and reverse, and in some instances not being able to start their car. But how is this possible? Clutchmasters, the brand for this clutch, is among the industry leaders when it comes to clutch upgrades. They are normally highly recommended by many, including us. We have used their clutches for years without a single issue. So I decided to purchase a kit, but I held off on installing it. I wanted to reach out to Clutchmasters directly and get their thoughts on the reported issues. And here's where things get interesting. The hydraulic system found in the M2, M3, and M4 are pretty weak. Therefore, creating a good upgrade for these cars is pretty challenging. At least that's what it seems like. Clutchmasters assured me that they have revised their clutch kit with upgrades that should overcome the weak hydraulic system. But is this true? Well, today we're going to test it out.
Guys, I am super hyped for this. The reason being because in the following M2 episode, we're going to add port injection to the S58 and it's going to make a lot of power. So we're going to definitely need this clutch upgrade. This kit you guys see here is the factory fit FX400 from Clutchmasters. This is a high quality clutch upgrade for the G8X cars, the M2, the M3, and the M4. Billet aluminum flywheel. You get the pressure plate with a billet aluminum cover. Unlike other kits that normally have the traditional stamped steel cover, this one is stronger, more durable, and is in general a better built piece. And oh yeah, it's lightweight as well. And as you guys can probably already tell, this is a twin disc setup. I opted in for the 8-puck version because I do daily the M2 from time to time, so I didn't want to get anything that's super aggressive. Clutchmaster does offer the 6-puck variant as well. Part of my motivation here to install this clutch, well, obviously I'm going to make more power and my clutch is already starting to fail. But what I'm mostly excited about is that when it comes to the G8X cars, the M2, M3, and M4, there's not a ton of documentation when it comes to clutch installs and clutch upgrades. Literally, I spent like a whole day looking for information and you can maybe find 1 or 2 forum posts and maybe a few small posts on like the Facebook groups. Other than that, there's really not a ton of information. So I figure I would fill in the void and make this video for you guys that do have a manual transmission. I know it's not a lot of you guys, maybe like less than 20% of G8X owners have a manual, probably. I'm hoping I can cater to you guys and in return, purchase the clutch upgrade directly from us to support the channel. So I'll link this clutch upgrade down in the video's description and a link to our website, vehiclevirals.com.
Uninstalling the car's clutch is as simple as most cars. Uninstall anything that is in the way like the exhaust system, heat shield, drive shaft, and slave cylinder. Also keep yourself organized and oh yeah, disconnect the car's battery since there's a ground cable you need to remove. The most annoying thing being getting access to all the transmission bolts, especially the one all the way at the top.
We have an internship here today. This is our intern. What up, dog?
Hey.
Useless.
What's useless?
Bonner.
Nope, because that's not.
Hey, Bonner, stop being useless, bro.
We're talking about 2 different things.
We're not paying you for nothing.
Oh, that's coming.
Oh, sh.
Ah, sh.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah.
Ah, oh, yeah. Help out Bonner. Help out Bonner.
This is all me, you guys.
Bro, Bonner had like 80% weight load on him.
Ugh.
She's crusty.
How many this car didn't sit at the port for 4 months? Curly.
Hell, no way.
I'm doing some deadlifts here real quick.
The gains.
I don't know, it's probably like 100.
You a weak. That is yes.
Honestly, the factory clutch seemed fine, at least from what we can see. The second disc was locked into a sandwich, so we couldn't really see the condition of that one.
All right, so we have the OEM and Clutchmaster set up here on the table. Let's give you guys a quick comparison. Here's what the factory one looks like right here. And the Clutchmaster OEM setup is definitely much heavier than the Clutchmaster's one. Obviously, we got the billet cover here for the pressure plate. The huge difference and huge weight savings comes with the flywheel. So this is a dual mass flywheel that the G8X car comes with and does have additional movement here, which is mainly for comfort. Clutchmaster's one is billet aluminum, much lighter, single mass. So you might lose a little bit of comfort, but it's gonna be worth it, especially since it can hold more power and weighs a lot less. So the entire OEM setup weighs 50.05 pounds. And the fully assembled FX400 weighs 35.70 pounds.
Two very important things to keep in mind when installing a new clutch. For the clutch bolts, we use blue Loctite. And we follow the torque specs that Clutchmaster's included, which can be found on the spec card. And of course, use the included clutch alignment tool to make sure the clutch is installed properly. And now, it was time to put the transmission back in. So check this out, guys. Even if you're not looking to upgrade your clutch, you may want to do the following procedure to enhance your driving experience with a manual car. Do a clutch delay valve delete. Its primary job is to restrict the hydraulic fluid flow. It's there for smoother shifts by delaying the clutch engagement, but it absolutely sucks when it comes to performance. By deleting the clutch delay valve, you can decrease the amount of time it takes to shift into the next gear, and it just makes the car feel more alive and connected.
On E9X cars, it's like a removable piece that goes in here. You just remove it and take it out. On this, you have to do some internal BS.
All right, so we got the clutch installed. Pedal feel, it's actually not bad. It's pretty close to factory. I would say it's slightly stiffer, a little spongy at the very bottom, but excited to drive the car and see what difference we get and see if this particular clutch has the same issues it used to have in the past. Ooh. You hear that? That was a very interesting start. Has like the metallic sound, the that's that billet aluminum flywheel for you. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you guys will have this question. Clutch rattle, normally something you get once you upgrade to an aftermarket clutch. You gotta really focus to listen to it. It's very light. Typically it'll sound a lot louder, at least on my previous cars when I have the AC on. I have the AC on at the moment, and it's very light. Let's go ahead and step outside of the car and see if we can hear it from there. Bro, I kinda like that sound.
It's very quiet, bro, honestly.
So you can hear it a little bit from the outside, but to be really honest with you guys, since the OEM setup is also twin disc, it had a little bit of rattle that you can hear, and this one is not much different than that one, to be honest. Yeah, so very light. It's not super aggressive. Maybe it will change after I break in the clutch a little bit. I have to do that I have to drive the car, stop and go traffic for about 500 miles. But if it stays like this, bro, I am not complaining. That's a very good thing. So normally with aftermarket clutches on these type of cars, some people run into engagement issues, especially in first and reverse. So you go first, no problem. Maybe slightly notchier, but not terrible at all. Another reported thing with these clutch upgrades sometimes is like the grab point being super low, like the friction point when it engages. The pedal, not that you guys could probably see a lot, but I'm halfway pressing it and you can actually get it into gear. So that's halfway. All right, so first drive impression so far going through gears, man, it's pretty close to OEM. Not super notchy. The clutch is not like an on-off switch like other high performance ones. This one is pretty good. I'm actually really excited about that because one of the things I was worried about, right? You take a brand new M2, well, not brand new, but 2023 M2, which rides amazing as a daily driver, and then you ruin that with a clutch upgrade, and I really didn't want to do that. So far, at least right now, it's pretty good. Engagement, everything's good. Oh god, see, so the downshifts is something that I noticed too since we did the clutch delay valve. Look how instant it is. There's no delay. I remember I was trying to do a 60 to 130 with the car in previous videos. I would try to shift as fast as possible, but just the car wouldn't let me. I would even grind sometimes because I was shifting faster than what the clutch delay valve was doing with the whole setup. So that would kill a little bit of my time. Obviously just a fraction, but it all adds up. Okay, so we're doing first gear engagement here. Really smooth, no hesitation. Like I said, you go halfway, depress into the clutch pedal, boom, you're in there. There's really no difference here. I guess one way to find out is if I go high gear, low RPM, normally is when these clutches you can actually tell that they struggle on low RPM because they're aggressive. I'm gonna try that out. So 5th gear, see 6th gear. Okay, there you go. That's when you can hear it a little bit more. That's the only time you can actually feel a little bit of a difference. Like it's kind of struggling to keep up a little bit because it's aggressive. It needs a little bit more power. But other than that, man, it's great. So far, so good. No complaints. I'm actually very surprised and I'm very happy for these results. It honestly feels like an OEM, I would say OEM plus clutch upgrade. It can handle more power, handle more torque, and I can easily drive this car every day. Me liking. Cause like I'm gonna follow what it tells me, right? So it's telling me to upshift there. It's telling me to upshift there. And there. You see how it's not hitting
Yeah,
up?
bro, like what is
Look,
this,
it's
eco
struggling.
mode?
Okay, I guess what I was trying to show you guys is I'm following the prompts based on the gauge cluster where it tells you to shift. You see the up arrow here? So I'm following that. On a factory clutch, you can follow that and it would be fine. But with this setup, it can't handle that process. I mean, you can, but it just makes noise. But I mean, I normally don't shift based on what BMW tells me to shift anyway, so. I'm sure that after I drive the car for a bit, the clutch will, the clutch pedal will adjust. Maybe it'll get a little bit higher. But even if it stayed the way it is right now, it actually feels really good. Super easy to drive the car. And no excessive noise, which is the biggest thing for me. I don't want to add any unnecessary rattling or noise to this car. So I like it. It's like an OEM, just slightly better.
Well, there you go. The Clutchmaster's upgrade for the G8X M cars is no longer an issue, and I'm pretty comfortable recommending it. Now to drive easily for 500 miles to break in the clutch and port injection 800 wheel horsepower, here we come. Make sure to like the video if you guys found it useful, and also because it really does help the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next M2 video. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.